Hello, this is Julie. Welcome into the Thrifty Paper Garden. Well, I did some thrifting today. Some of the local thrift shops were doing 50% off, and one was doing 25% off everything. So I found a few things that I wanted to show you. Now this big bag is full of fabric. I think it is maybe a bed cover. So it has this really pretty silky pink fabric that I possibly could make flowers out of, but it had a skirt of these pretty little shimmery, glittery little butterflies. So I thought I could use those. They're various sizes, and so I thought that was fun to find, something I can craft with. And then I found this beautiful little, I suppose it's a dress or scarf or something like that. But what came to my mind is it's a perfect size to fold up and use as a cover of a lace book or a little book where you put decorated stick pins. So I thought that was a nice, pretty find, some nice lightly and stitched flowers. And I love paper dolls, and I found this little collection that I have a little girl in mind that I'd like to send this to, but it's on felt. I just printed some clothes for her, and they should be able to stick, or I suppose you could put a little Velcro on the doll and put the clothes on. So that was, hopefully will make that little girl happy. And I found some little drawer pulls, and I don't know if you can tell through the plastic, they're already crackled. And I have an old dresser that I put some of my craft items, and I would like to replace the little handles. So I thought this would be a good place to start, and I could decorate those up if I chose to. I found some invitations. It does say a bridal shower on it, really lightly embossed, but you could put lace there or something if you didn't want to use it for a bridal shower. I just thought it was a really pretty die cut, and it's embossed and just really pretty, kind of a vintage Victorian type feel. And I found some ribbon. I have been making the little bows out of the Tim Holtz die cut. It's one of the thinlits, the 12-inch long, and it cuts through this type of fabric fairly well, and it makes really cute fabric bows. So I thought that would be nice. And to add to my Avon perfume collection, this is the second powder puff container. The other one that I have is the blue one that has a flat lid that has a dove on it, and it even has the powder puff still inside. So that was real fun to find. And I like to store my laces in old hard-sided suitcases, and I found this one, and I hadn't heard of this SMC brand, but it's in pretty good shape. But I have especially not found any that have had an unbroken mirror and the tray. Now the tray has some stains in it. Definitely we'll clean it up and see how well it cleans up. Whoops. But basically it is in very good shape, and once it's all aired out and smelling pretty, I will put some laces in there and add that to my lace suitcase collection. And it was half off, $4.99. You cannot beat that. And then I went to another thrift store, and I found this trim, real pretty. I found some kind of linen. I haven't taken it out, but I could see the stitching on it. I don't know if that's considered like candle wicking. My mom used to do that. But just a really, really pretty tablecloth, and it has that on it. Oh, it just feels, the fabric just feels so rich. So I'll have to decide what I want to do with that. Just really pretty. And then there was this bag, and of course I like treasure bags. And it's a big bag, and I saw a few things in it that looked interesting, but it didn't have a price. So I thought, oh my, you know, they could be charging an arm and a leg, or I could get a pretty good deal. So I went up to the lady, and she seemed to be the type that could make decisions on her own, and she wouldn't have to ask a manager. And I said, I'm sorry, I wasn't able to find a price on that. And she said, $2.99, 25% off. I said, sold. But I have kind of looked. There's some lilac type tulle in there. This cute little heart wire. I think you probably put a a wood pole through here and hang stuff, I'm guessing. Let's see, some interfacing, some gold trim. Oh, look at this. Some fun metallic type string, red and gold. And this big hunk of flat lace. I thought that was pretty. And you could put little beads or something in the center of that. So I think I might offer that real inexpensively in my store. And then a little bit of this braided, I'm not quite sure what that's called, kind of like upholstery type trim. Some blue toile or netting or whatever that is called. And then what I really saw that I was doing the happy dance about was this beautiful trim. It's just a white flat lace, and then it has some cording sewn on it in a fancy floral pattern. And I'm going to be listing them this in my store right away because I want to get that out there. That is just beautiful. I see spring projects, Easter projects in that trim. So those are some of the things I found today. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.